Ladies and gents, welcome into this one, the big one. Portugal and Cristiano Ronaldo and Spain and Lamine Yamal facing off a repeat of our Nations League final from a few months ago. For the starting lineups, Portugal, Diogo Costa in goal, Nuno Mendes, Renato Veiga, Ruben Dias and João Cancelo. Surprises in there. Midfield remains the same. Vitinha, João Neves and Bruno Fernandes. Pedro Neto plays out wide alongside João Felix, who comes back into the lineup for Rafael, which is very surprising. And Cristiano Ronaldo leads the line over Luis de la Fuente and the Spanish side. Of course, Unai Simon is in goal. Pedro Porro, Marco Correa, Laporte, Kubasi, Pedri, Rodri, Dani Olmo, Lamine Yamal from the right, Alex Baena for the left, and Mikel Oyarzabal plays up top. Our substitutes include Mateus Nunes, Diogo Dalot, Nelson Semedo, Bernardo Silva, Samuel Costa, Gonzalo Ramos, Conceição, and Rafael. And then for Spain, we have plenty of options. Mark Pubel, Grimaldo, Mikel Moreno, Nico Williams, Gavi, Victor Munoz, and Yeremy Pino. The countdown is on. And we are underway here from Dallas. It is Portugal, it is Spain. Portugal in the red kick, kicking from right to left. Spain in their changed white strip from left to right. The team that has not conceded this tournament so far in Spain versus the team that went all the way with Croatia in Portugal. Can Cristiano Ronaldo's final World Cup have one more game in it? Can Portugal extend the game a little bit longer and expiry date of Ronaldo a little bit longer? Or do Spain put them to the sword here? Some interesting matchups throughout the ground. We've already seen these two go head-to-head in a final. That Nations League final from a few months ago. Wasn't that one thrilling? It's a matchup here, though, that you feel the midfield will sort of dictate how this game goes on. Whoever wins that battle goes a long way to winning this matchup. And of course, this matchup between Lamine Yamal and Nuno Mendes. Lamine Yamal on many occasions mentioning how Nuno Mendes is the toughest matchup he's had to have. And is often the one that shut down many of the world's best from fullback. And we also have to see how and what Portuguese side shows up. Is it a dominant Portuguese side? Is it a competitive Portuguese side? Do we see like Bruno and Vitinha and João Neves all work together? Just have to wait and see. For Spain, can we get their midfield actively involved as well? It was a fantastic display in their win versus Austria. We have not seen that display for midfield at all at this tournament. Poor giveaway from Cancelo. Wasn't on the same wavelength there with Pedro Neto. By Pedri and Rodri at the deepest part of this midfield. Dani Olmo at the 10. They were humming versus Austria. They work in and out of tight spaces. Encouraging the transition was very, very good. Throw from Nuno Mendes, trying to rocket that one towards João Felix. A loose touch there by Pedri. Gives possession to Pedro Neto. Little drag back down Vitinha. Nothing given. Oyarzabal. Easily claimed though by Diogo Costa. Man, he's basically scored a goal a game for the last 13 appearances and starts he's made for Spain. The cutback from Lamine Yamal. And Portugal already just reeling a little bit here. Vitinha having to send that ball out of play. Early Spanish pressure. And Rodri winning that duel against Bruno Fernandes, always having the physical advantage. He's almost like a underrated player for the Spanish side, Rodri. You don't really think about him, you don't really talk about him. But he just makes everything tick, metronome style for Spain. And in international football where A lot of it's about individual brilliance and pragmatic shapes and counter-attacks. The Spanish side is much different. They're all about that high tempo, all about that attacking play, all about getting the ball into and out of feet, progressing the ball quickly with urgency. We saw that versus Austria, with fullbacks pushing on Alex Baena, stretching the game from the left wing. They really did it without Lamine Yamal in that game. Nuno Mendes can't take that ball in his stride. And that's what Nuno Mendes looked to do. Get forward there. Mistake of the first touch, but he'll try to expose Lamine Yamal going the other way. He's a great two-way forward. And as a fullback, probably more of a wing-back than anything. He gets up and down the pitch. Paco Bassi getting in ahead of Bruno Fernandes. A lot of technical battles all over the park. Nuno Mendes versus Lamine Yamal. Pedro Porro versus Nuno Mendes. Fernandes taking on that centre-half partnership of Kubasi and Laporte. Long throw for Nuno Mendes. First contact, Ruben Diaz. Isn't that going to be exciting as well? Diaz and Renato Vega taking on Mikel Oyarzabal. Those two at the back have been rock solid for Portugal in this tournament so far. 3 goals conceded in 4 games for Portugal. Never more than 1 goal conceded in any given game. Versus the backline of Spain that have not conceded at all at this campaign. There's 2 of the best backlines going head-to-head here. Rodri. Look at the Portuguese shape. It's a standard fullback. No real rare variation there. But Pedro Neto is coming a little bit more narrow, I'm seeing, in the defensive shape, just to add a bit more support. Almost making a 4-4-2 without the football. There's a flick back around the corner from Bruno Fernandes. Nuno Mendes. A beautiful crossfield pass. João Cancelo. João Felix at the back post. Cancelo took it on and tried to rifle it towards the top corner. That fizz wide of the goal face. A big chance miss from João Cancelo and Portugal. Took the space that was available. There's no one really up there with him in the box, so maybe in the end trying to take something on, speculative, but trying to be really aggressive and get an early chance here for this Portuguese outfit. Kubasi. Towards Oyarzabal, read well by Renato Vega, who's improving his stocks as the day go on, I feel. The Villarreal centre-half started last season off very well in club football. Once the Champions League started for Villarreal, sort of where it fell to the wayside. Seen top of La Liga after 8 games. Renato Vega was superb in that. Showing us here for Portugal his ability to stay strong against some of the best attackers in world football. Progressing well. Dani Olmo, beautiful. Oh, yes, Amal! Oh, he pulled wide. And no flag up either. A massive miss for the Spanish centre-forward. Is he onside here? Baena ducks inside and he's on. Dani Olmo at the 10. Finding Oyarzabal, and from there he has to score. He's obliged to. And he's gone nowhere near the target, pulling that ball wide. That is not a finish of a clinical striker like Mikel Oyarzabal. There's a chance he would like back. Only chance goes begging. Now Cristiano Ronaldo in Portugal. Numbers back to close it down. Good ball towards the back post. There is João Felix. An open nature now to the last few minutes, end to end. Back in the starting 11 for Nuno Sorry. Roughly out. Jaffel's getting a little nutmeg there on Pedro Porro to fashion that chance. It's going to be the first corner kick of the game, the way of Portugal. And Bruno Fernandes, he's over this one. So Fernandes. Someone's fallen to the ground there, Ronaldo. I have to tell it quickly, though. Waves it away. The grappling. Bodies it in the deck. Feels like a Premier League game in there. Fernandes winning that second ball off Pedro Porro, but Rodri there to get the foot in an all-Manchester rivalry there. Simon's clearance straight to Renato Vega. That chance for Hezabal. Just thinking about how massive that could have been for the flow of the game. Spain gets that. You give them a massive advantage in this game. But you saw in that attack for them. I think Spain are coming a little bit more centrally. We see it for Mexico with the wide men, Quinones and Alvarado playing as inside forwards. England at times do it as well. With Bukayo Saka in the channels there. And land those fullbacks on the outside, but also by having the wingers a little bit more centrally. You've got support for the number 10, and that's what happened there. Bainer laying the ball off to Olmo, and Olmo through to Oyarzabal. Just makes the back line just a little bit off kilter. Ronaldo's really got a case there, to be honest. There's a pulling of the shirt by Rodri. It's not perfect defending from the number 16. Oh, poor give away from Pedri. Fernandes picked it up and fed through Ronaldo. Cristiano Ronaldo. Unai Simon made the save. Early chances for Portugal as well as Spain. Ronaldo always looks at his best. 1v1 running at a defender. Couple of step overs. Shifted the ball on that right foot of his, but angle was always tightening, and Unai Simon always fancied himself in that situation. But Spain putting themselves under a lot of pressure. Rodri giving the ball away. Pedri's giving the ball away. Laying some transition. A driven ball from Nuno Mendes. Dealt with at the near post. Fernandes away from trouble. Ball's found its way to Nuno Mendes, who tripped on himself. Vitinha battling in there against Pedri. And somehow Rodri comes away with it. Pedri now. Fizz one into the feet of Lamine Yamal. Nuno Mendes with him. Helped by his teammate in João Neves. Cucurella. Could be a game for these fullbacks to stand out. Cucurella and Pedro Porro. Cancelo and Nuno Mendes. It's so heavily contested sense, really. All these players have very similar backgrounds or have played it against or with each other so often. Little technical battles, little decisions, mistakes sometimes can be enough. Dani Olmo, bit of space to operate into. Vitinha looking to cover off. Alex Bainer chopping inside. The cut back ball comes back his way. And Baena just launches that ball well and truly high and well and truly wide. It's been a good tempo though and start to this one. Around a 16 tie that sees two very, very competitive sides toe-to-toe. And two sides that haven't seen bags of goals, so expect the times to be quite cagey, quite tactically focused. We've seen two sides of the coin in these round 16 ties, really open-ended, back and forth type games, cagey affairs. And then last night, the madness of the Azteca. So a bit of everything so far in the round of 16. Don't expect this to be a goal fest though. Expect it to be more of a really, really controlled tactical battle. Bainer. Just look at Spain's shape. Obviously, Rodri will drop in between the centre halves or deeper to retrieve like we see here. Pedri just further forward of him, and Dani Olmo sort of basically operates where he likes, but I think for Spain preferably next to the centre forward he has about. Pull give away from Lamine Yamal to Bruno Fernandes. João Felix back to Nuno Mendes. Nuno Mendes a little step over the ball roll. And out to Bruno, who's drifted to the left-hand side. And wants to return ball to Nuno Mendes. Despite Kubasi's efforts, it almost made its way through to the Paris Saint-Germain fullback. And this is a chance here for Spain because Lamine Yamal does not have Nuno Mendes for company. He chops inside. Lamine Yamal! And I see him on there. Oh, sorry. Diogo Costa twice. Wow. Diogo Costa there to relatively easily save the Lamine Yamal effort, but has to get back to his feet and claws that ball away from the back of the net. Impressive from Diogo Costa. To deny Spain an opener. First Spanish corner of the game. I think Spain will take it. Out swinging ball. Ruben Diaz deals with it. Out to Lamine Yamal. Ball work diagonal. Cucurella. Oh, just to hit that ball back in there. Lamine Yamal stands one. Diaz away. And Lamine Yamal was offside to let that ball run, and that ball runs out of play and for a Portuguese throw. We do see there the two sides of it. For Nuno Mendes, him going forward is such a massive threat. We saw that in that phase of play there, but also with him going forward, it opens up a lot of spaces for Lamine Yamal to operate into. You saw it instantly, though, when they looked to find him, Lamine Yamal, once Nuno Mendes was caught up the pitch, it was, let's just be as direct as possible. Let's get at him and at this back line. And João Neves gets back there to make the effort a little bit more difficult on goal. But I think any time Nuno Mendes gets caught up the pitch and spanking it quickly, Lamine Yamal will look to be aggressive. Pedro Neto bailed out by the trip there by Alex Bainer. Yeah, free kick in the deep Portuguese half. So approaching the 20th minute mark here. seen the highs and lows and the natural flow of this one here. Chances can't really feel when they're coming. They're just going to come, isn't it? The creativity of players like Pedri, Fernandes, Vitinha, and the sort of yo-yoing nature and seesawing nature of this game. You're not going to be able to predict, it feels like, who's going to be on top and how long they're going to be on top for, because it just sort of ebbs and flows. Portugal had a little moment, then Mendes caught down, and then Lamine Yamal and Spain have their moment. And it's like if you have momentum or control, you've got to keep it. If you have a lead, you've got to just grab by the scruff of the neck and secure it. And Mendes to Cristiano Ronaldo, lays it off to João Neves. Vitinha back to his teammate. And to the other Paris Saint-Germain player, Nuno Mendes. A proficient play here from Portugal. Neto out wide right. They'll allow for Cancelo. Neto again. Turn the ball to Cancelo. Who slips into Fernandes. Oh, beautiful. Cancelo. Oh. A flag eventually goes up against Bruno Fernandes, but that was beautiful football. That was neat and tidy from Portugal. I'm into Pedri. Ruben Diaz really high up the pitch here. Ensure he doesn't turn and run. Olmo. Again, Ruben Diaz out of his position to close down. Olmo. It's been an interesting watch as well today, how Oyarzabal fits in between Renato Vega and Ruben Diaz. Where does he occupy the spaces? Looks like though Dani Olmo is going to be a man-marking task of one of the centre-halves. Or at least to go out and close him. They're trying to prevent those trickier players like Pedri and Dani Olmo having the freedom to turn and get their head up and drive towards goal. It's been a conscious effort from Portugal, you can see out there, to close those two down when they get the football. That's why Ruben Diaz went so high up the pitch on Pedri and so high up the pitch on Dani Olmo. It was, no, you're not turning. No, you're not going to pick up the ball. Like Spain are tripped, and he's looked probably as one of the brightest players out there so far. Played back-to-back very, very good games and has been one of those very, very important core pieces and cogs this side. Deputising in that Nico Williams role from the Euros. Done a fantastic job out there. Not as athletic, not as direct, but very, very talented and technical on the football. He's putting a good ball there. Bruno Fernandes, though, gets it away. That's a rash hit. Pedro Porro took it on there. And on that note, it's time for a drink. Halfway through the first half, the quarter-time interval. It is 0-0. Few chances at both ends. Both chances for sides to have a chat and reconvene after the interval. It's Portugal 0, Spain 0. Right, here we are back for our second period of action. Best chance of the game falling the way of Mikel Oyarzabal, created by a first-time touch around the corner and in behind by Dani Olmo. Portugal have had shooting options as well. But yet to really make the big chance like Spain have. Diaz up the line to Neto. Looking to turn his teammate Marc Cucurella, or former teammate Marc Cucurella, who's now at Real Madrid. That'll be a tasty battle all day long. I did see, though, Portugal change their outfit just after half-time, though, so if Pedro Neto doesn't perform, you expect players like Rafael to be ready. Francisco Conceição as well. Pedro Porro, he's going to go back to a club side he may not recognise either. Sandro Tonali, Mateus Fernandes confirmed, Jean-Paul Van Acker, Marcos Senesi, all joining Spurs as they continue to splash the cash, breaking their record signing fee in almost back-to-back days there. We need spot kicks to separate these two teams in the Nations League final. I wonder if we need something very similar today, or someone can find that quality inside of 90 or potentially 120 to get the better of the opposition. João Cancelo, Cristiano Ronaldo. Now with Neto, Ronaldo getting involved in the proceedings here. Vitinha. Out to Bruno Fernandes. Now into the feet of Nuno Mendes. Spain looking solid in defence, but not impossible to break down here. It's the man-to-man nature though. Whenever you get the ball, you're under pressure like that from Rodri. And João Neves is forced to give it away. A chance for Lamine Yamal behind, but Renato Veiga sliding in beautifully to beat him to that ball there. Really great covering there and defensive work for Renato Veiga to defend that channel. Lamine Yamal getting in ahead of Nuno Mendes there for a rare chance. Crossfield pass to Pedro Neto, well taken down. A handball against the Chelsea winger. He's not happy with it, is it? Came off his arm. It has. It's a great spot from Anthony Taylor. Yep, I'm just looking at this midfield. It's not like a man-to-man midfield, but whenever you get it, you're under pressure. And that's a great way to break that sort of mini press by Kubasi, is drive into the space. Lamine Yamal, poor on the outside. What a challenge from Nuno Mendes. Whenever he's out of the game, he's in the game. No right to get there. The Portuguese fullback. Spain have the chance to deliver something in there. Laporte, Rodri, Kubasi the targets. Banner works it short though to Dani Olmo. And to Lamine Yamal on the edge of the area. Vitinha had to close him down. Pedro Porro, a floater towards Marc Cucurella. Set for Pedri. Diogo Costa. And Olmo heads wide. Another chance goes begging for Spain. It's Dani Olmo in the seconds that it's actually offside. But the initial ball put in by Pedri is so dangerous. There's that channel between the defensive line and the goalkeeper. And if you put any ball in there and you ask players to go chase it in like Kubasi did there, that's what causes problems. No matter how good of a backline you are, and it's got to cause problems. Former teammates there of Al Nasser, Emerick Laporte and Cristiano Ronaldo. He's now back in Spain, Laporte, with his boyhood club, Athletic Club. Mendes into Bruno Fernandes. He tried to turn, but couldn't do so. Fernandes has to work harder to get ahead of Rodri. A great side-to-side battle between those two. Manchester Blue and Manchester Red. And toe-to-toe there. I see him on collecting that awkward ball by Emerick Laporte. Great footing from João Felix. That's the sort of battle we've had there. Wide man midfielders, fullbacks, all supporting each other, keeping the shape, denying passes between the lines. Feels like whenever there's a pass play to a player, they're under pressure. There's someone over their shoulder. Like that there. Poro all over João Felix. Rodri and Fernandes battling away in there as well. Pedri and Vitinha. Ronaldo and Laporte. There's just 1v1 battles everywhere. It's a really competitive, intense game. Still looks like that Spain are looking a little bit better in terms of progressing the football in possession. Portugal in their right can transition from back to front very quickly and very easily at times. Pedro Porro, now to Lamine Yamal. Nuno Mendes faces him up. Lamine Yamal floats one in there. Dani Olmo with a cutback ball to a very dangerous spot in the 6-yard box, but Oyarzabal couldn't get the end of it. And again, Dani Olmo just picking up these pockets, picking up these little spaces, and getting away from any man marking. As I said, he's sort of been half marked by a centre-half, half marked by a midfielder. Because he's so versatile in his positioning, he'll be dropping in alongside the midfielders or going up next to Mikel Oyarzabal. No one's really got the assignment. Maybe it's his technical ability in those tight little pockets that's going to prove to be the circuit breaker for Spain. I feel like they just got their foot in the accelerator here and Portugal are forced to sit in their shape. When you're out trying to chop it inside, Nuno Mendes. And then it's a foul with his challenge. João Felix got away with one there. You can see him laughing. Good toe in though. Nuno Mendes on Lamine Yamal. But quite intent from Yamal to get on with it and try and get that ball back instantly. Cancelo. For the safety of Diogo Costa in net. Now Renato Vega. Under pressure here from Dani Olmo. Vega can't keep that ball in play. Great pressure here from the Spanish. Haven't seen this sort of intent and intensity at all in this tournament. They've obviously had some very, very different type of games in terms of possession. Would be camped in their favour, but how precise they've been with it, but more importantly, how quick they've been to action being off the ball or out the ball has been superb. Diogo Costa's quite clearly been the busier of the two goalkeepers so far. The sporting man. cutting a frustrated figure up top. It's that sort of period right now for Portugal. It's about being solid, being good without it. Kubasi again, taking the yards available to him. Pedri. Oyarzabal, but again, this time Pedro Neto backpedaling and tracking back to win that ball back. Cancelo, that's a dangerous pass, but we'll take him by Vitinha. Ronaldo dropping in. Vega. That to Cristiano Ronaldo. Best space for him. Felix, great footwork. Vitinha. Felix upended by Pedro Porro, and he's talking to the fourth official. Here's Bruno Fernandes. Neto. Back post where Felix is. Ronaldo's there. Oh. And almost manufactured toe poke that found the back of the net over his shoulder. But Unai Simon made an important intervention. Well done to João Felix that kept that chance alive. A little toe poke over the shoulder. Well claimed by Unai Simon. Great second efforts from the goalkeeper. Pedro Neto now's gone down. Yeah, Felix picking up a stinger. Great fighting though to get there at the back post. I don't know what that stoppage is all about. But there's the match stats. It hasn't felt like there's a game that has had 12 attempts on goal, but there you go. Oh, the boots just come apart. Pedro Porro's kicked through the back of João Felix there. Again, really no cards flying out of this tournament so far, and that one there you normally think would be a yellow card. And Mendes, what a ping to the far side to his opposite fullback in João Cancelo. He's got it on the bar line and wins a corner off Alex Baena. That is all created by Nuno Mendes' passing array. Stunning crossfield pass there. Set up this chance for Portugal. The boot swap is now done by Pedro Neto. No, it's still a hole in his boot. Strange from Pedro Neto. João Felix. To the edge. Nuno Mendes. Oh, crossbar. Oh. I think it took a nick to get onto the crossbar. Boy, was that venomous. Well worked corner set play from Portugal. It's Pedro Porro. He's headed onto the crossbar. And that might have been massive because that ball was flying towards the goal. And then he's a hero heading it onto the crossbar. Could have been the villain if he headed it into the back of the net. Portuguese throw. Vitinha to Nuno Mendes. He goes the low route this time. Felix battling in there. Pedro Porro comes away with it. So does Lamine Yamal. Enduring multiple challenges. The counter-attack halted though. Spain come back the other way though. After initial challenge there, put in Lamine Yamal. João Felix got a toe in there and got the ball. And he's defending through committee there on Lamine Yamal. They know they're not going to be able to do it on their own, this Portuguese side. Ruben Diaz. Now with Renato Vega. Vitinha. Felix. Fernandes. Aerial ball that Laporte was always going to win out. One back by Fernandes. Ronaldo. Out of his feet. Cancelo. Neto. Chopping inside and finding Vitinha. More engaged in this game here, but still not that creative spark which we know him to be. Role, position, squad style. Just hasn't worked for him so far in this tournament. Renato Vega. And Mendes. Now it's Lamine Yamal doing the defending and doing it well. And Mendes, a floater, looking for Ronaldo. And I see him on though, unchallenged with that aerial ball towards him. So Rodri to Pedro Porro. That's a Bainer on the 45th minute here, or the stroke of it at least. Dani Olmo. Feels as if Spain have looked more dangerous in these sort of positions. It's because of this man, Dani Olmo, who threads it to Oyarzabal. Looking for that left foot. Portugal knew it and they closed it down, and Rodri blasted well over. 6 minutes to be added on here in this first half. Don't know where they got that time from, but so it is. Guerrero and Neto continuing their tussle on the far side. Vitinha. Oh, gee. Fizz one in there to João Neves. He did very well to keep it from Lamine Yamal. As much as Spain have looked the more incisive and dangerous side. Oh, Portugal have had their moments like that there. With Ronaldo in behind. João Neves, great take under pressure then. Almost the inch perfect pass for Ronaldo. Baena. Rodri into Dani Olmo. Pedro Porro floater in behind. Lamine Yamal's gone in behind. And he's missed it and wasted the chance. Flag goes up. I wonder if he knew about it, but that was a very Lamine Yamal-like effort. Well done, Portugal, for holding that line. Portugal trying to work through the lines there, but Neto gave it away. Little mini transition here for Spain. Olmo, Oyarzabal. Bodies flying around the park right now. Pedri asking for the card. As the Italians kept them in his pocket in this first half. It's a late challenge there. Ruben Diaz. Getting a foot in there. They're getting it illegally. Decent way out here. Alex Baena will look to set this one up. You assume to the back post area. Players running in for that second ball. It's sort of set pieces from these sort of regions which have caused a lot of sides problems at this World Cup. Was back first. Rodri into a dangerous spot, and Laporte almost flicked it around the corner on target. But I think Taylor's seen a foul and all that. Halfway through our 6 minutes of stoppage time in this first half. Half moments, there's been a plenty of them. Big chances. Spain have probably had them all. Not too far away here this game, I feel like, from coming alive. That first goal will ignite the furnace, you feel. Battling there, Baena and Cancelo. Baena look to try and get back and press. Nuno Mendes to João Neves. It's probably been Portugal's best midfielder. Vitinha and Bruno Fernandes at times struggling to get involved in getting control of these and other games. João Felix trying to fashion a ball over the top to Fernandes, who continues to drift out wide left to almost allow himself more space and crossing opportunity. Hasn't had any chance to whip a ball in yet. We know he's one of the best crossers of the football and world player right now. All those assists for Manchester United last season, breaking the record for most Premier League assists. It's wasteful from Spain. Float to forward. João Felix made that run again. A foul against Felix on Pedro Porro. As those two continue to go toe-to-toe. A lot more dangerous than what he has in the past, João Felix. But again, end product and real dynamism, not quite there. When I see him on, we'll kick us back up the pitch here and send us to half time. Blocked by Ruben Diaz, so maybe Spain with the last chance of the half here. No, they won't. That is going to be half time. Nothing to separate these two sides. And Oyarzabal, rare miss from him from close range. A double Diego Costa save to like Lamine Yamal and Dani Olmo in the follow. And then a Nuno Mendes shot headed by Pedro Porro onto the crossbar, having the major chances, but really cagey, really technical, and really quite fierce in terms of the pressing and defensive display. It remains 0-0 at the half-time break. Short break here, guys. And we're back for second half action in around 10 minutes' time. It remains here. Portugal 0, Spain 0. Alrighty, guys, we are back for second half action here from Dallas. Not too far away from getting kicked off here. Spain and Portugal, nothing to separate the two sides so far. Very, very tightly contested match. The energy, the defensive work that been putting by both sides has been unreal. Chances, they've been there, but not easy to come by. Lamine Yamal hasn't really had a chance to have a big impact in this game. Ronaldo hasn't really gone near it for Portugal. It's been more about the likes of Dani Olmo, Mikel Oyarzabal, João Felix and Nuno Mendes. Just think, though, the start of this second half is going to be massive, especially for Portugal. I feel like they desperately need to score the first goal. If Spain score the first goal, I don't see them coming back. Saying that, I said the same thing about the Croatian game, and yet Portugal found a way there. So we've got second half action here underway. Portugal has kicked off. They're kicking from left to right in their traditional red colours. Spain, their change colours from right to left, white for them. Oh, he has the ball in the middle here. Well found. Can spread the play to the left-hand side where Alex Baena has been a dangerous threat all game long. Lofted one in for Renato Vega. Aerially, how to get that ball away. The second ball's won by Mark Cucurella. Nicked off him, though, and in the way of Pedro Neto, his former teammate. And looking to get out of Aymeric Laporte. Only Ronaldo up there with him. Centrally is Vitinha. Further is now Bruno Fernandes. Looking to stand one in there, but Pedro Neto never continues running a wasted pass from Bruno Fernandes. No change at the interval. No one's got the confidence to change something just yet. Very, very samey two sides right now. They're both very, very level. With quality in midfield and quality out wide. Maybe it is a mistake here in this game. It's going to cause a bit of a difference. Very much is a cagier affair. No one really going out of their way to try and win this one at the moment. Pedro Neto drops that ball inside of Vitinha. Back to Neto. Away from his man. And it's come back off Neto. It's giving me a throw. I always look that way. I don't know why he's trying to plead his case. I think for Spain, though, that man there on screen, Pedri, I think he's going to be really, really important in this second half. Him and Dani Olmo, if they can start linking the game up together. We saw the threat of Dani Olmo in the first half, but I think in particular, if he can get support from Pedri, Pedri can be that driving force from that box-to-box role. Allow Rodri to sit and dictate from there. I think that is going to be vital. Here they are here, but Pedri gives it away. Portugal come back with it. Ronaldo throws himself to the ground. Foul there on Thiago Laporte. Dani Olmo in there. I just think, yeah, those two there, Dani Olmo and Pedri, they can start to operate in those little channels and those spaces, link up together. They've both got the first time passing quality to work their way through any side, and I think they'll be the players to get the better of this Portuguese defensive outfit. Two sides that defend very, very well. Spain yet to concede this tournament. Portugal only 3 goals conceded, and no more than 1 conceded in any given game. So Fernandes over this set piece. It's not going to be him. It's going to be... And they both fake it. And in the end, Fernandes' delivery was so poor. And rolled out by Simon. Vitinha was first to it. Well done by Vitinha. Fernandes. João Cancelo making the forward run. Stands one up. And again, no one making the run. That's now a couple of times Portugal have done that. Stood one up and no one's followed the ball in or made that run towards the back stick. Incision. It's the world of the moment. Who's got it? Dani Olmo almost left it short there, Bruno Simon. The Bilbao keeper sending it long. Neto now on the turn. There is Olmo again, though. Now Pedri. So these are the players I was talking about. Pedri driving. Now wide to Lamine Yamal. This is what he wants. 1v1 versus Mendes. But Nuno Mendes, a human shield in the way. Fantastic defensive work from the Paris Saint-Germain and Portuguese fullback. He just watches so carefully. Knows when to put that foot in. And when to stand up. I can't remember a time where a winger really got the better of Nuno Mendes. If so, it hasn't been a game I've watched. Even Diaz goes long. Cucurella and Neto grappling away there. Bainer looking to feed Yamal. Vitinha in the way though. And Cucurella committed himself off the pitch. So Pedro Neto's got space here. Numbers are in the box. Back post where Ronaldo is. Just though, too far ahead of him. What if he could have just stood that one up rather than fizzing across the floor there? Ronaldo's not going to get down the floor. Not enough speed these days to get there. I really thought that's a cross that's put on in the air and stood up towards the back post. And Ronaldo towering over that centre half, but Not the right idea in the end from Neto. Lamine Yamal return pass for Dani Olmo, but Nuno Mendes, of course, will win that running race. That's where they shield that ball out of play. Oh, great throw from Nuno Mendes to set away Vitinha, who feeds through Cristiano Ronaldo. Another case of Ronaldo just not being up to the speed of the game. Gonzalo Ramos scored the winner last time out. Just wondering how far off he is. Lamine Yamal's got the better of Nuno Mendes. And the cut back to no one in particular. There's some little passages here of what could be for both of these two sides. Kubasi. It's a great ball around the corner from Dani Olmo to keep possession here for the Spanish. Every touch so hyper-focused on in terms of technical ability to deal with pressure. Kubasi to Pedro Porro. Ball inside to Lamine Yamal. Pedro Porro goes over. Referee not falling for that. Bruno Fernandes. Porro all over him. Ball back to Ronaldo. He's got away from 2 or 3 Spanish defenders. Then tripped but not fouled. Well, won there back by Mikel Oyarzabal doing the defensive work. Seen him back there a lot today. Nuno Mendes is not in a good way here. And that is a look of discontent and quite an upset look there. It's this action here where he looks to close down Lamine Yamal. Lamine Yamal had the beating of him quite comfortably though in the lead up. I wonder if he tweaked something prior to that. Maybe cramp. Maybe a hamstring pull or strain, but they're going to be without him. It looks like, yep. That's a massive win for Spain. And he's not just a defensive threat. He's also an attacking threat as well. One of the better deliveries in world football. Of course, someone who's going to shut down Lamine Yamal. What a season he's had. Nelson Semedo readies himself here. So Nuno Mendes' race has been run. Huge advantage for Lamine Yamal. Huge advantage for Spain now. Because they'll fancy that matchup. Semedo, not the same closing speed as Nuno Mendes. So if Lamine Yamal is away, he will be away. That's the one thing that Nuno Mendes has on Lamine Yamal. Whenever he's able to get tricky and skip past him or gets a little half a yard, he's always been able to be closed down by Nuno Mendes just through his sheer closing speed. So I wonder if they just force the ball now to Lamine Yamal's side. Already an early ball out there. Not that Nelson Semedo is any scrub defensively, but it's a massive change. Nuno Mendes might be the best in his class for the last 20 years in terms of that position. And also with the threat of extra time looming, he's someone that can run all day. Semedo receives a round of applause down there. So Semedo on that far left-hand side for Portugal. Costa. Felix has flicked on header. Ronaldo was offside. You can tell by the crowd as well that the intensity of this game has just dropped away. Maybe because of the stoppages. Maybe because of how closely battled it is. Who's going to be the hero here? Who's going to be the Jude Bellingham, Harry Kane from yesterday? Who's got the Mbappe mould about them? Someone to take this game by the scruff of the neck. They looked in patch of the first half. Dani Olmo's going to be that man. Still could be Dani Olmo, but he's gone quiet second half. It's definitely not one of the Portuguese midfielders who have once again struggled to get going. Same here comes Bruno Fernandes. He initially got the beating of Pedro Porro for pace, but that was a race he was never going to win. But even for Portugal, like Nuno Mendes is probably their closest to being that difference-making player, but he's gone now. Plenty of options for both sides from the bench, though. Just wonder if substitutions need to come sooner rather than later. But for this game's had a lot of fear. A lot of players that not firing in all cylinders. A lot of players that look tired as well. We see a lot of European players, especially those top sides. They've played now probably 70 games in this calendar season. João Felix, Ronaldo. Always required a lot for him to get that on target. João Felix smart there. Just pushed on connection on the cross then. Might have just made sure that cross went a little bit deeper than it should have gone. Ronaldo would have loved that a little bit shorter and allowed him to jump and rise for a head up. But in the end, he had to force it, try to claw a volley around the corner. That never was going to work. Ball lands at the feet of Marc Cucurella here. Pedri. Spain have been very sideways so far in this matchup. Looking for that pass in a channel. Looking for that pass to threaten the back line by bypassing the Portuguese midfield. Do Spain have that in them, though? Can Pedri sort of do that? Can he fashion a ball through to Dani Olmo? Can Dani Olmo maybe make a run and skip past the midfielder and open things up? It's going to require someone to take a bit of a risk, maybe. Both sides so well drilled. It's almost taking away from the spectacle here. Pedro Porro. Forward of the centre halves, Pau Cubarsí has been consistently today. Lamine Yamal tried to just jink inside and feed a ball through. In the end, a foul on João Felix. To the discontent of the Spanish side. Here's Dani Olmo. Pedri! Oh. Chance goes begging again for Spain. This time a chance to create from a mistake. Portugal give it away. Deep in their own half. Dani Olmo and Pedri again linking up. Pedri's shot taking a nick. Put over the crossbar there. So Spanish corner, just past the hour mark. To open the scoring here, Baina's ball. Jean Neves hooks that clear. And as far as Lamine Yamal, his efforts blocked, and a secondary corner in quick succession here for Spain. So Bain is in swing up. Body's crashed to the floor there. Great comfortable take there by Diogo Costa, who've been very good in the Portuguese goal in this World Cup. Cannot fault this man. Big saves as Colombia on 0-0. Solid versus Croatia with some big 1v1 saves. He's commanded his box as well. Bruno Fernandes has dropped the deepest of all midfielders now. Plays a beautiful crossfield pass to João Cancelo. Into the feet of Pedro Neto. Now, João Neves trying to squeeze one through. Cucurella keeps that ball in play. Almost lost on it. Vitinha. Fernandes. Back to Vitinha. Two tricky midfielders in there. Fernandes fouled by Pedri. Let's have a bit of an argument. Neto to Cancelo. Neto again. Vitinha now. Ruben Diaz. Fernandes. Closely marshalled there by Dani Olmo. Neto looks to skip away. And the give and go with Cancelo wasn't quite going to work. Again, though, lack of chord in the final third there. With that return pass. Cancelo, Ruben Diaz. Costa. So when's Gonzalo Ramos? When's Rafael coming on for Portugal? When are you going to see Nico Williams? Potentially a Ferran Torres for Spain to try and change the course of this matchup. Spain with much safer possession here in the second half. Crying on what they had in the first half, where it was already pretty safe, but this is a project in keep ball. And you can hear from the crowd, it is flat here in Dallas. We've had a lot of great games with great atmospheres in this arena. This is far from it. Lamine Yamal, is this the moment? Baina on the counter. Tries to lay one into the edge of the area. Cancelo gets a foot in. Haven't got rid of it though. Baina! Diogo Costa down well. Effort that lacked power to cause any sorts of problems for Diogo Costa in the end though. It's a low skimmer across the floor. Ronaldo again beaten by the make report to that one. Pedri, Baina. Only halfway in the second half of action. Drinks break coming up soon. Be a good time to just reset again. Try and get going here in this game. Lamine Yamal. Pedro Porro. The cut back for no one in the box. Where is Oyarzabal? Where's the centre forward? Mikel Oyarzabal has to come in there and get in there. Ferran Torres. I think that's got to be the option from the bench. Get a centre forward on. they can be in the right space at the right time. This is very much, though, of the Spain of which we've seen so far this tournament. Far from open, really pragmatic, really slow build-up, no intensity. We saw it in the Austrian game, but maybe that was a one-off. Or maybe that was because of Austria, how open they were. But we saw this versus Uruguay, we saw this versus Saudi Arabia second half. They just lull you to sleep with the way they play. Portugal aren't doing much to differ that either. Ronaldo tried to fly in there for a chance, but Bainer kept it off him. Pedri. For Lamine Yamal. Back with Pedri. Now with Rodri. Slowly but surely operating up the pitch. I look at it now. You got Lamine Yamal on the right. Dani Olmo in a little channel. Bainer's come very central. Yazabal almost the furthest left. If you're Mikel Yazabal, you have to be there on the spot, ready to go. And the ball's delivered in, you have to be there to get in the end of it. Just for this hybrid positioning and this sort of higher role means he's never going to get there on time. He's no spring chicken anymore. Bain on the turn. We're going to feed one through to Yazabal, but broken up by the Portuguese backline. Felix couldn't bring that ball under control. So that then means it's time for the three-quarter time break. I'd be lying to you if I said it was entertaining. It's been a real slow, sluggish second half. Hard watch at times. Remains 0-0. Portugal and Spain, nothing to separate them here. Short break. We'll be right back for the final quarter of this one. Alrighty, final quarter of this matchup. So Rafa Leao and Diogo Dalot are on. Jacques Cancelo and I assume João Felix are making way. It is. So João Felix will go Leao be out there on the flank. Diogo Dalot will come on at the right back position and play on his natural side rather than the left back like he does at Manchester United at times. Really wondering when we're going to get that substitution Ronaldo for Gonzalo Ramos. It needs a centre forward right now, this game. And someone that can run and present and be a handful. Semedo pulls Lamine Yamal to the floor. An easy decision for Anthony Taylor. It just doesn't happen if Nuno Mendes is on the park. So Lamine Yamal and Alex Baina take a keen interest in this one here on the corner of the box. But they all stand away from it, and Lamine Yamal fancies it. Does he try and whip this at the near post? Does he try and get a ball into the box? What does Lamine Yamal produce here? The star boy. Lamine Yamal. Oh, tapped over by Diogo Costa. Pretty easily. No, tipped over the bar. Quite central from Lamine. Didn't have to move a muscle, really. Just a hand up and tipped over. Bayern is in swinger again. Diogo Costa palms away again. And Nelson Semedo can just search for yardage. And Bruno got a press, but no one follows him in. So Spain can come to work out here. So there is Ferran Torres. I think that's the right move. And this one, Oyarzabal not really involved. Just shy of a quarter of an hour left in the 90. Can anyone produce anything of note? Any creativity? Or will there be a mistake potentially in the 90 minutes here? Ferran Torres is one of those players that's always going to be in the right place at the right time. It's about that end product though. And that's beautiful. Lamine Yamal to drop in and spin behind Nelson Semedo. And try to roll it across Alex Baena, but wasteful from the Barcelona man. And the two out to the left. Here comes Rafael out. Pedro Porro is a quick fullback though, so we want to go toe-to-toe with Leao in terms of the pace. Is Dalot offside? Well, he's not, but that ball's been put out of play off. So you go Dalot. It'll be a throw in the near side here for Spain. It's not going to be Oyarzabal. It's going to be Alex Baena. Surprisingly for Spain. So Ferran going to go left, it looks like. Dalot takes that ball down. Feeds Rafael out. Great footwork initially. He stayed with it there beautifully. Ronaldo's offside. Oh, maybe not. Vitinha. The ball's landed at the feet of Bruno Fernandes. He's at the side netting. Rare chance of Bruno in and around the box. We haven't seen much of that at all this tournament. That's what Bruno can do. Can be that dangerous piece. So ball back now with Diogo Costa. What can Portugal fashion here? Semedo wriggling away from the Lamine Yamal challenge, but they are caught on it. Lamine Yamal the other way. Dani Olmo towards the edge. Rodri. Three and a half hours away from our secondary kickoff of the United States and Belgium. That one might be a little bit more entertaining. This one here has been. It's been very cagey, European final-esque. The way they've just sort of felt each other out and seen how each other have gone about it. Just like how compact Portugal are now. Ronaldo part of almost a 5. It's almost a 5-5 right now. They'll dink over the top for Ferran Torres. Try to keep it alive, but only put it into the side netting there. But the substitute already looking dangerous, make those little darting runs in behind there. Look at him here in between the two lines, spins. Foul by Pedri and has a good first 2 to 3 steps there to accelerate and get towards that ball. Pedri. Correa. Gubasi. Hazard continues to drop too deep for me. Ferran Torres can spin away from trouble. Giving a lot of space there for Marc Cucurella on this left-hand side with Ferran coming on more of an inside-type player. A lot of space is available to him. Oh, great reverse ball. Dani Olmo. What a block from Ruben Diaz. But a fantastic reverse ball there. To pick out Dani Olmo. And Ruben Diaz. The big centre-half there flying in to make the challenge. And to deny that chance, find the back of the net for Spain. They're just starting to heat up here, the Spanish. Lamine Yamal. Deep in swinging up. Diego Costa can only get a palm onto it. Couldn't catch. Rodri put in. Diego Costa punches away again. Spain are just starting to purr here. Maybe up into second or third gear. Lamine Yamal. Pull the channel. Ferran. Then a cut back again. No one's there. Again. Flat-footed. The Spanish forwards. Can't get a handball for that, can you? Spain looking a little bit sharper here. Getting another cutback that Oyarzabal's not there. Tap home. He's got to be better than that. Clearance not fully gotten rid of and to come off the hand of Rodri. And momentum and pressure rescinded. The final two moves, Bernardo Silva and Francisco Conceição. So we'll get no Gonzalo Ramos, which is a big shame. Spain the other way here with Rodri. Pull out wide for Lamine Yamal. Darting inside for Ferran Torres. One of the give and go there. Nelson Semedo read it well. Great hold-up play there from Bruno Fernandes. And here come away Portugal the counter-attack. Ronaldo doesn't want to get it going forward and plays the safe route. It's probably not the right option there. 3-on-5, I know, but surely you take it on with Bruno Fernandes on the far side. Conceição coming on his directness Like this man here, Rafael, who just knocks the ball past Pedro Porro. Looks to stand one up. Pedro Porro got a toe in and took the sting out of the cross. Pedri, Ferran from the left. Pedri central again. Ferran. Again, Oyarzábal's just out of the way. There's no centre forward right now for Spain. Here he is, Oyarzábal. Lamine Yamal from the right. Inside to Oyarzábal. Trying to toe poke one through. I don't know who to in particular, but that was a goal of it at least. Rafael away from the challenge. Bruno Fernandes looking for the crossfield pass. The diagonal to Cristiano Ronaldo. Has been blocked out of play for a throw on the far Portuguese left-hand side. So here come the moves. Renato for Francisco Conceição. And Vitinha's going to make way again to allow Bernardo Silva on. He's not very keen to come off here, Vitinha. Taking his time. So Ronaldo will stay on at least 2 extra time, yep. Could see a little high fire between Bernardo Silva and Rodri. 2 great mates and great teammates for years. Mikel Moreno readying himself. Talk about a goal threat. That is one. Again, Rafael just knocking it beyond. Trying to run onto it. That's his sort of game plan right now. Being the last few games, Colombia in particular, we saw it a fair bit. And Croatia was a real standout piece of his game, just to knock the ball past the fullback and run onto it. Two dangerous goal-scoring midfielders in Fabian Ruiz and Mikel Moreno on, or coming on, sorry, soon for Spain. Bernardo, Bruno, Conceição, putting away in there, winning a through for Portugal. So here come those moves. Pedri makes way for Fabian Ruiz, and that's probably the smart move. Nowhere near his best game today. And Dani Olmo making way. Wow. He's looked at one of the more brighter players. So a box crusher or a bigger sort of forward option, and Mikel Moreno comes on. Lamine Yamal gliding over the grass. Oyarzábal. Yamal to Fabian Ruiz. Straight off the bench and putting in an awkward ball. But Diogo Costa can comfortably claim that one. Seconds going to need to tick away here. If it's going to be a winner, it's going to be a late one. Fabian Ruiz. Ferran Torres. Cucurella. KGL battle this one. Spain just trying to possess it out of danger here, and they've done so well. Rodri lofts one. Maybe a hit there for Lamine Yamal. Second ball won there, though, by Fabian Ruiz. Mikel Merino. Sort of the positions he likes to be in. Rodri. Federico Porro. Lamine Yamal now on the right-hand side. Ferran Torres making that run in the channel. Ferran Torres trying to fashion a shooting chance. Just trying too much. He's just got to, I think he's got to take it on. There's a spot there to just, get the ball to your feet, whip a shot at goal. Body's in the way. Good technique. It's once again the idea of a lot of players just overthinking it, not taking the game on. Feels like it's been played very fearful, this one. Ruben Dias to his former teammate Bernardo Silva, ready to join Real Madrid. Alongside the man on the pitch today, Marc Cucurella. Dallo, a couple step overs. Setting the ball back to Conceição. He can't take it under his spelt. And Bernardo Silva comes in and just lays a body in. Mikel Merino. That's just silly there. But it's aggressive. Maybe that's what this game needs. A little bit of spice in it. Take to the 89th minute for our first yellow. Maybe that sums up the game as well. It's not really been a physical game at all. Silva gets his foot in. Laporte. Oh, the back pass is almost short. Ronaldo was there. Flag was up though. Rodri to Ferran. Appearing in that little pocket. Fabian Ruiz. Bernardo Silva's looking energized since coming on. So it's Porro. Lamine Yamal. Trying to work. Nelson Semedo hasn't really gotten the better of him since he came on for the injured Nuno Mendes. Thought that could have been Spain's avenue in, but so far it's been nothing of note in front of goal for them. Again, a game of a lot of half chances. 6 minutes we added on again after what we had in the first half of 6. We've got another second half of 6. Oh, beautiful. Ball behind. Merino! And the subs have won it for Spain. The sensational Spanish with a beautiful move out of nothing. And the super sub, Mikel Merino. The goal threats come on and back for Spain right at the end. And that's surely going to be the winner. And that is a dagger in the hearts of the Portuguese, of Cristiano Ronaldo. But they have not done enough today. And finally, a piece of quality in this matchup. It comes from this foul. Bernardo Silva gives it away. Merino plays it quickly. Releases it to Fabian Ruiz. And then it's Ferran Torres around the corner. And Mikel Merino just drifted into that forward position. That's why he came on. He's a box-crashing, forward-running midfielder. He's in that position there, 1v1 with Diogo Costa just has to slot it home. That's what he does. On his left foot, shifts it on there, and rolls that ball home. And look at the balance of things. The Spanish have probably deserved it. They've made the pushing. They've gone and chased this game more than what Portugal have done. And their substitutions have worked. Ferran and Marino combining. The super subs to slice apart the Portuguese backline. And now then, they've got 1 foot a quarterfinal versus potentially the United States or Belgium. It took to the first minute of stoppage time. But finally, we got some attacking output. And time is basically running up on Portugal. That's what happens when you concede late on. That's in everyone up here. They really haven't deserved it though, have they? Ferran Torres couldn't get away from danger. Great tackle from Diogo Dalot. It's been brighter for Portugal since coming on. Felix, when he came off, I thought that was a road call. I really thought he was one of the brightest sparks out there. But Roberto Martinez took him off. Didn't take off Cristiano Ronaldo. That has proved to be pivotal, I feel like. Without a proper centre forward to hit to. Vega has to pull down Lamine Yamal on the far side there. They've just not been able to link the game up, unable to get going, and any of those half chances on the break. Ronaldo can't chase in a break. That's not his game. I really think they missed a trick there. Not bring on Gonzalo Ramos. Ronaldo's running ignored by Rafael. Down the left here, looking to get a ball in the box. Pedro Porro, very well done. Close man marshalling there from him. Low ball from Semedo. Ball gotten rid only to a certain distance, so it's going to come back here for Portugal. Conceição. Deep from Bruno, overhit. Leao can recycle this one. Rafael trying to fashion a spot for a cross. Semedo under a lot of pressure from Lamine Yamal. Away from that Yamal challenge. Into Ruben Diaz. Over 2/3 played of stoppage time now. Leao. Dangerous bouncing ball in there, but Kubasi does well. Fabian Ruiz gets rid of it. That is keeping Portugal at bay. This is it now for Portugal. It's now or never for them. Vega. Whistles from the Spanish fans. Trying to put the Portuguese off their game. Vega again. Floats one out wide. Overhit for Bruno Fernandes. That sums up their day. Spain haven't been great, but Portugal have been so poor again. And Borja Iglesias is ready himself to hold up centre forward. Tend to see this one out, but it isn't coming on yet. Poor giveaway from Rodri. There is a minute left in Cristiano Ronaldo's World Cup career. There are seconds left for Portugal to save this matchup, and they've got a great set of players, some of the best club players in world football. But you can't, assure that in 4 years' time they're going to be the same players. Conceição! Oh! And headed over. Bernardo Silva. He's not happy with his teammate, Rodri, or former teammate and Rodri. Just as over the crossbar. Couldn't get over that. Oh, he finds a spot in between two defenders. Somehow Bernardo Silva heads over. But there's no surety that these Portuguese players will be as good as they are currently in 4 years' time. They'll be 4 years older. Bruno Fernandes probably not going to be there. Ronaldo definitely not going to be there. Ruben Dias probably not going to be there either. This was it for them. This was their tournament at their peak of their powers. They have not shown that at all in this campaign. Iglesias can't keep that in play. We've played 7 of 6 minutes to be added on. How much extra time is going to be given here by Anthony Taylor? You'd say it's seconds now. They've got to get it forward if you're Portugal. Vega. Bernardo Silva. Away from the challenge. Looking for Leao out wide. How to find him. Lamine Yamal on the way. How much longer is there going to be in this game? Conceição on the right here. Challengers flying in. Ferran fouling. This has got to be the last opportunity, surely. Yellow card for Ferran Torres. For a rash challenge on Francisco Conceição. He's late, doesn't get the ball. It's a fair call. This has got to be it for Portugal. This ball needs to be on the money. From Bruno Fernandes. Diogo Costa is up. Final moments. Final chance. Has to be a good delivery. Have to get some depth on this ball. And pace on it. Dangerous spot. Flicked on. Flicked wide from João Neves. And that is going to be that. Portugal go home. And it's the sensational Spanish, led by Mikel Moreno, who came off the bench to score to send them through. It's the end of a very great international career from Cristiano Ronaldo. But the story is that Spain fight on. The European champions, far from their best yet again, but are finding a way to get the job done, not conceding once more. It was a 91st minute stoppage time winner for Mikel Moreno. Portugal 0, Spain 1. End of the road for Ronaldo. And the start of a potential historic journey for Spain in this World Cup. They go through to face either the United States or Belgium, who play later today. But Spain do it again. Congratulations. They go through. A quarterfinal awaits them in a few days' time.